Greetings to all of you who are on this journey of initiation into the heart of fairy as we travel through this transformational process over 13 moons. We are now entering our second moon, and I'm coming at you in the small hours, and the fairies have requested this Elphaba lighting, so I have a feeling that things are about to get interesting with this second moon, so I hope you're ready for it. And I hope you had a very rewarding, insightful experience with your first moon as you started to just dip your toes in through making more contact with nature and thinking about all the pieces of that. How you interact with nature on a day-to-day basis, even something as simple as how you handle the recycling in your home, or how you're tending to your pets, how you're tending to your plants, and these basic simple things. But I'm sure that something came forward for you as you dropped in with nature, as you became more aware of your relationship with nature in that first moon. And we're going to see what the fairy want to bring in for the work for this second moon. I did get a very firm directive from them that if you have not found yourself some kind of amulet, it can be a necklace, it can be a pin, some kind of jewelry, some kind of talisman that's going to symbolize this 13 moon initiation that you are on. Maybe there's some stragglers is what I'm kind of hearing in my ear, like some people that were just kind of exploring, wondering, should I, go down this road? If you've decided that this is a journey you want to go on, you are ready for initiation, it's really time for you to find your amulet. This is going to be important because we're going to do a consecration ritual around that. This is also going to be a moon when I will be talking with you more. I'll be dropping in with you more. We'll have a few different readings coming in and also some guidance about different types of spell work that we'll be introducing. So you can start to really learn the craft of fairy and maybe some ways that will surprise you, that kind of buck these Hollywood images of what it means to be on the path of the witch. So I'm excited to drop in and see what the fairies are going to bring forward for this moon's work. It's a doozy of a lunar cycle for sure, with the new moon energy we just had coming in. So I have a feeling it's going to open up a lot for all of us. And it was 3:11 on the clock when I said that. So I think we got lots of help from fairy to come into alignment with our path. We do have some things that fell on the floor here. So it lets me know there's some pertinent things we need to pay attention to. Oh, okay. There's a lot that's coming in reverse, all right? So let me just paint the picture here for you. We have the 10 of Wands in reverse. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. That's fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and we also have the 4 of Cups in reverse. I see right here that there's a big need to shake off the seriousness, to shake off the heaviness, to, get out of this drudgery space, all right? Your energy is way too heavy for fairy, all right? Let me tell you something about working with fairy. Fairy is formidable, okay? You don't want to fuck around with fairy. You will find out on the real, okay? They're not tame beings at all. This is wild feral energy, all right? But fairy is also very humorous and playful and eccentric and wild and free, all right? The last thing they want to deal with is somebody who's going to be a big old bummer, you know, full of drudgery and, uh, you know, Debbie Downer kind of attitude. You know, you got to turn that around. There's too much heavy energy. I feel like there's this need for you to like shake off all this bullshit that's been put on you. I really feel like this is more like the person you were told you had to be. And so I feel like there's like a lot of dismantling that's going to occur around that during this lunar cycle. You know, maybe you always had to be the good girl. Maybe you always had to be the responsible one. Maybe you've always had to be the one that showed up for everybody else, make sure that they had exactly what they needed. Meanwhile, you kind of stifled your own individual expression just so you could kind of keep everything copacetic, not rock the boat. And I feel like Fairy's asking you to put that shit down and allow yourself, 5:55 on the clock when I said that, okay? It is time to change that up. It's been due a change for a long time is what I'm getting here. Because there's this like incredible opportunity for growth here, okay? This incredible opportunity for growth and transformation here. But you're so stuck to being the good girl or the good boy, you know? You're so stuck to being bound by this duty and this obligation that really has nothing to do with your essential nature or who you are, but who you've been told you need to be. And as long as you stay stuck to this outdated role, there will be no growth on this path. There's a need to sort of shake up your identity, you know, because the identity that you are presenting right now is a false one. And it's not that you're doing this intentionally. It's not that it's a manipulative thing. It's just you've been conditioned in this way for so long that you don't know yourself to be any other way than this. But yet I think there's a part of you that knows deep down inside that there's more to me than this, you know? I do have a wild side. There's a part of you that's just like itching to like let down your hair, you know, let it all hang out and really let yourself be seen for who you are. But I think there's some fear, there's some reticence, like, if I step over this edge, if I really allow myself to go there, you know, how is that going to affect the people around me? How is that going to change the way they view me? And Fairy's kind of telling you, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Because this is kind of the way Fairy is viewing it right now. All right. You got this opportunity to move forward on a path that can really connect you with your true passion, with your true purpose, that can build that fire inside of you that will remind you of who you are, why you're here, that will have you stepping into that place of really feeling your confidence and working your mojo and all that good stuff in life, right? And the opportunity is being extended here. We see this. I'm going to turn this card around so you can see it. The opportunity is being extended here from Fairy. They're saying, here, come on. Come along for the ride. Come to Wonderland. Let us show you what we have to offer. And you are straight up refusing it. You're refusing it. On some level, you're refusing it. You're looking the other way. You know, you're looking at all these other cups that you feel you're responsible for filling. All the other people around you that you need to keep happy. All the other obligations that you have that you have to take care of these things. They're your duty. You don't have time to devote to a path like this. You don't want to deal with the upheaval that will come when you accept this opportunity. Fairy's asking you to turn this energy around, okay? They're saying it's time to stop being stuck. When the Knight of Wands is in reverse, okay, not only is your fire blocked, okay, so you feel very disconnected from any sense of your like true passion, you know, that thing that lights you up. But this can also be when you're kind of combative, you know, maybe you got some repressed anger. You got some repressed anger because you've taken on responsibilities, you've taken on roles, you've taken on an identity that has nothing to do with who you are and has more to do with placating other people. And Fairy is kind of telling you, you know, until you really look at this, until you really accept who you are, and stop living in the shadow of who others have told you to be, this feeling is only going to grow inside of you. This frustration is only going to grow inside of you. And so if you want to get free of that, you have to turn this energy around. You need to stop refusing this opportunity that's being presented to you. And you need to take the risk to open up to the truth of who you are and all that that is going to bring forward. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, look. What we have on offer here is this Empress energy. Fairy wants you to come and play, all right? This is about you going on this journey of embodying the 4 queens. And I believe this came up the last time, all right? We have this backed up with the Hierophant, all right? This is building community with other people that are like you. Gathering in circle, look at this. Gathering in circle, coming together with other people who also feel like you, who also see things like you, and understanding that there is a place for you and you are warded, you are protected as you go on this journey. 11:13 on the clock when I said that. 13 is witch's power number. And again, coming into alignment. It's so important to start to open yourself up to this experience. And I think what really is coming forward with this, and I've had some people who have reached out to me privately in regard to this experience, okay? In regard to this 13 moon initiation. But I've had very few people really come forward and share their experiences actually on the videos where we are doing this work. And so I'm kind of getting this as, sort of the first work that's coming forward here for this particular moon, is that Fairy's asking you to kind of step out of the shadows and really accept this invitation by putting yourself out there and bringing forward your experiences on the videos. There will be more videos presented with this lunar cycle. I will be bringing in more actual spell work, okay? More transformational work, and it will come as it needs to come in. I'm not on a particular schedule with this because I'm just flowing with the energy. But I really encourage you that when I bring these videos in, where I'm going to be sharing the different steps for you to take in your initiation, that you work with these things and that you also share with the community that is gathering here what your experience was, so you can start to build this circle, this network of support, okay? Because what you're going to realize is that you're not really alone in this. There's actually a lot of people who feel like you do. A lot of people who feel like you do. And I also feel, this is this piece of, did you find your power spot in nature? Did you do the work of the last moon cycle? The first moon that was about making a connection with a power spot in nature that you fed with your presence, with your energy, so you could really start to establish that connection, that link with Fairy. It's so important. So I sort of feel this is a little bit of kind of like Fairy going, come on, if you really want to take this opportunity, follow through. We're going to ask you to do certain things, follow through. So make sure that you are taking those steps. Get your amulet. And make a connection with a power spot in nature. It can be with a tree, a special tree that you go and spend time with. Your presence there, you're being a steward of this land and forming a relationship with the land is actually going to strengthen your connection with Fairy. And if you have a special spot that you go continually and feed it with your presence, your ability to connect with Fairy is going to be so much stronger and so much easier to access. And beyond that, it's also going to open up something in you that you're not necessarily able to realize right now. This will be a place of great support for you as you go through this process. I mean, this is what's on the table. You're going to integrate these lessons of the elements, and we're going to start to really get to know the elementals this month. We're going to start to go into the very basics of working with Fairy and what that entails, because there are certain steps to take. all right? You don't want to just go willy-nilly. There are wise things to have in place anytime that you are stepping onto an occult path. And it's nothing to be afraid of, but it is something to be mindful of, to be respectful of these energies that you're working with, and knowing how to work with them in a way that is safe in the sense of how you'll be able to handle and integrate what you receive from that connection, okay? Because if you have a lot of fears in place, if you have a lot of dogma weighing over you, maybe because of the way you were raised, you know, and the religious background you come from, maybe this is really a break from your spiritual traditions, from what you've been used to. It can be a destabilizing experience as you open up to something like this, and it can bring up a lot of fear. It can bring up a lot of kind of personal judgments that stem from the programming you received, the conditioning you received from others who decided for you what your spiritual beliefs should be. So there's a lot of unlearning, there's a lot of unraveling, there's a lot of dismantling work involved in this. And because of that, there's a special process that's put in place when you're initiating into a tradition like this to ensure that you're able to maintain your footing on the path. So important. So important. And you know, it is trickster energy a bit. Fairy is trickster energy a bit. And it can get rockin' and rollin'. It can get spicy. It is a path of alchemy. It's a path of transformation. You want to make sure that, you know, you do have that community of support, that you do have people you can drop in with that are also going through this process, that understand what you're going through, where you can share your experiences. So this is really coming front and center. Fairy really wants you to get involved. They want you to show that you are interested in doing this, that you are participating, that you're bringing your voice forward. You know, you kind of had a gentle first moon that was just about, you know, starting to drop in, get in touch, feel out. Is this the path for me? Is this what I want to explore? But now it's time to, you know, make an affirmative statement. If you've decided that this is for you, get your amulet. We're going to do a consecration ritual for that amulet. It's something you will wear. It'll be a power piece for you as you move through this journey. And do bring your voice in. Start interacting with others. Even if you just drop a comment and share what you learned this past moon that you went through. That would be a very valuable first step. And then, of course, as the additional videos can come in, you can share more as you work with the different spell work, the different rituals that we'll be bringing in. I see it's going to lead you to this place of beautiful personal fulfillment with this Nine of Pentacles. And there's so many rewards that are going to come forward for you through this work. Because as you really align with yourself internally, you're also going to see things shift externally in your life. Everything will improve, okay? Everything will improve as you come more into alignment with who you really are. And I think a lot of you are going to take up this adventure. Those of you who did dive into that first moon, we see the Fool here. So this shows you taking a risk, okay? But this is also a reminder from Fairy about the spirit to bring forward as you step onto this path. The Fool is filled with that enthusiasm and sort of childlike sense of wonder, you know? And you don't know what's ahead. It is unknown territory. And even I don't know what you're going to greet as you head down this road, because each person's initiation is very unique to them. But we do know that there can be pitfalls, okay? You do have to have some awareness of where you're going. So this month, for this moon, we're really going to bring in the beginning foundations, the beginning basics of what it means to step onto a magical path, what it means to work with alchemy, some of the basic fundamentals, how you can do this in a safe way, what kind of warding you need to have in place, what kind of protection you need to have in place. And we're going to ease into this in a way that feels very comfortable, very appropriate, and in a way that you're able to access it, that it doesn't feel overwhelming. We're also going to make sure that we include a certain level of what is the best way for me to put this? A certain level of structure, so that there's sort of a landing point, because I think the energy is going to start to get a little, I think it's going to get a little wild. I'll be honest with you. That's what I'm really picking up. I think it's going to get a little wild. And I think there may be some of you who are still on the fence with this. You know, you're wondering, is this the path for me? Is this the direction I'm meant to go in? Am I meant to grow in this way? Is this the path that leads me to growth with the Seven of Pentacles? You know, only you can weigh that out for yourself with this Temperance and feel out if this is right for you. You know, do you want to take up that cup and move in partnership with Fairy? That's a choice only that you can make. But what I'm getting through loud and clear right now is that Fairy wants you to make a decision. You're either going to be in on this 13 moon initiation or you're not, you know. And if you are, now is time to really dedicate yourself to the way forward and be ready to step onto that path as the beginner on the journey, okay, with this Page of Pentacles. And this is really about learning the basics and learning the fundamentals, all right? Even if you've practiced on an occult path before, even if you have experience working with ritual, there are still basic fundamentals that are required in learning to work with Fairy, and to do so in a way that it can be an empowering experience for you, all right? Because we're about to dive into the mysteries with this moon card here. And I really feel like you're going to sort of have the veil lifted, where you're going to see a bit into the heart of Fairy, this lunar cycle. There's going to be some of the mysteries that are going to be revealed to you as we actually start to do some of these workings together, as we start to really connect with the elements. And I'm very excited to bring this piece in for you. Look, you're stepping into that new identity as the Magician, all right? This is about you initiating as the Magician. Pretty powerful. So now is the time to really make your decision, make your choice, okay? If you need a little pause, if you need a moment of pause to decide that this is the way you want to go, take your moment of pause. But just know, it's one of those things that once you say yes, you said yes. I want you to be aware of that. Once you open the door to Fairy, you know, they take that very seriously. When you say, okay, I'm going down the path of Fairy, they take it seriously. So do be aware of the door you're opening, because it does require a commitment. 23:33 on the clock when I said that, all right? There will be change. There will be adjustments to be made. There will be emotional work. There will be things that surface within you. There is the need to also do shadow work with that moon energy coming through. It's necessary. It's a necessary part of any kind of magical path, okay? But you're going to be guided. You're going to be held through it. And you're going to learn how to move through it in a way where you can feel really held in that experience. That's why we're going to create some structure around it. I'm going to give you the fundamentals. We're going to give the fundamentals on how to ground properly, how to have your protection, how to have your energetic protection, how to interact with the elements, you know, how to call those elements in, how to connect with Goddess and God. Bring them both in Fairy, actually. We don't just view it as God, okay? Or just Goddess. It's the mother and the father working together, right? So We're going to bring all of these pieces in, and it'll be a beautiful opening, magical journey for you. Look at this. Look at this beautiful energy, okay? You're in this pre-Empress energy right now with this Queen of Pentacles, and that's Earth sign energy too. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, all right? This beautiful pre-Empress energy, you know, with the Nine of Pentacles to the Queen of Pentacles. You will graduate to this Empress through this process, and you will see the transformation manifest in your life. It's going to happen within, and then it will happen without. And will you be able to affect change like that? Will you be able to shift your reality as you do this transformational work spiritually? Absolutely. And you'll also experience so many wild adventures. I can't even begin to tell you how much your life will shift and change. But there's really this importance of shedding the defensiveness, you know? You're still a little closed off to the energy. That's what I'm picking up, okay? So this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to give you an opportunity. I'm going to give you an opportunity to sit with this right now. I want you to sit with this energy. I want you to feel out. Is this right for me? Do I want to go down this road? Because I need to see that people are committed to go down this road for me to proceed further, because I'm actually going to start bringing in actual techniques for working with fairy. And in order for me to do that, I need to know that you're committed to the process before I start putting that out there. All right. So fairy is really asking for you to bring your voice forward, for you to state, yes, I'm ready for this. I want to go on this journey. I'm ready for initiation. Please drop a comment on this video. Let me know that you're ready to go down that road. All right. And then also make a commitment that when the videos come out where we're going to be sharing the different techniques, how to bring these different pieces in, that you are going to bring your voice forward, that you are going to share your experience and what you learned through working with the different pieces that are brought in. And I will be actively engaged in that with you. I will actively communicate with you. You're not going to be left hanging there alone. But there really is this need. Fairy wants you to participate. That's what I'm getting. They want you to participate. And there's this big piece about the participation being part of the deconstructing of this old identity that was put on you, so you can really step into your power and claim your path as a witch. All right. I'll see who is going to show up. I'm excited to see. I have a feeling, I know that quite a few of you are going to come through. So the challenge has been issued. Are you going to take the cup? You ready to dive in? Let me know. Let me know if you're ready to dive down that rabbit hole.